There has been mixed reaction to Texas Governor Greg Abbott lifting statewide coronavirus restrictions and the mask mandate tomorrow. So we bring in Darian Lewis, one half of the Monica Lewis School of Etiquette, to talk about how we should handle some of the situations that we might be faced with in coming days. And Darian, some of them, could be uncomfortable for people depending on how you handle things. So let's start first with just, if you're wearing a mask and you see somebody without a mask in a place like a grocery store that has a
Mhm.
policy where masks are still required, how do you handle that?
Well, the answer to that is a little bit complicated, but here's the general rule. I'm going to give you some general answers here. The first thing is, if you're in a public place, then you should be prepared for there to be a variation of different responsibilities, different opinions, different, approaches to it. So you just walk in understanding that there may be someone there without a mask. Okay. The rules are changing, and you shouldn't approach that person and chastise them because they're not wearing a mask. But what you should do is make sure that if you have decided to wear a mask, that you stay masked up and practice physical and social distancing and get in, get out.
Is there ever a circumstance where you would suggest that you do ask a person to wear a mask if it's your personal preference to wear one?
Yes, there are some situations where it would be best if both of you are wearing a mask. Let's say if you're in a situation where you're in very close personal contact, let's say like with your barber or your stylist, or if you're in a car with individuals that you may work with, or a friend that you haven't seen in a while. Yes, you can request that everyone wear a mask, and but make sure you communicate that upfront and honestly and politely.
And you have some communication guidelines to follow using the word heart. So
Yes.
tell us how we can remember those guidelines with that word.
So we always talk about communicating with heart in our classes, and heart is an acronym that we use. H is for honesty, E is for empathy, A is for awareness, and R is for resilience, and T is timeliness. When you're communicating with people and you engage your heart, it helps the conversation make the correct target. You communicate with the correct intent, with the correct emotion, and also with the correct understanding from both parties. So when you're talking to individuals about these very awkward topics, it's so important that you remember to communicate with heart.
So if you have decided to no longer wear a mask, and let's say you have friends and family who feel differently about it, before getting together, you say you should have that conversation and say, look, this is how I stand on the issue now.
You should. You should first get very comfortable with expressing your thoughts and your personal decisions about whether to wear a mask or not wear a mask. Considering if you've gone through the proper precautions previously, maybe you've been vaccinated, you received both doses or taken the full dose, and you decided that it's best for you to proceed maskless. But then you want to communicate upfront and honestly to those that you're around so that they know that, yes, when I come around, I may not be masked up. But if that makes you uncomfortable, let's discuss ways. Give people options. Give people the opportunity to make the adjustment beforehand. Don't spring it up on them as you're knocking on the door. Oh, by the way, I'm not wearing my mask today. Surprise. People don't like surprises. You
No,
want to give them
no,
time to
not at
prepare.
all. All right, so we're going to communicate with heart on this issue
Yes,
going forward. Darian Lewis with the Monica Lewis School of Etiquette. Thank you so much, and hopefully everybody can be, empathetic to each other's decisions on this. Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Have a great day.
Thank you.